Hey, here are 5 stupid things I noticed about college. The cost. Going to college is one of the most expensive things most people who do it will ever do. At Shepherd University, where I went to school, the total cost this year of tuition and books and room and board and other fees for an out-of-state student like I was is over $14,000. Earning a bachelor's degree at that rate is like buying a brand new Hyundai Accent every year for 4 consecutive years. And Shepherd is a relatively inexpensive school. If you set your sights on a more prestigious university like Johns Hopkins, you're looking at a yearly rate of over $56,000. Getting a 4-year degree there is like buying 4 brand new Lexus GS 350s. And that's not even factoring in the interest rates from student loans that most people will have to take out to pay for college, and which they will probably be paying off for years, if not decades, after they finish college. So I hope they like being smart and poor. Sororities and fraternities. I sometimes refer to private schools as asshole factories, but that label could be applied just as aptly to sororities and fraternities. These organizations seem to function primarily as networking opportunities for the future scumbags of America, the men and women who will someday run for Congress or become wealthy CEOs who will complain about their tax burdens without an ounce of shame or self-awareness. Said qualities having been burned out of their characters by 4 years of constant binge drinking and ritualized sadism. Major limitations. I was an English major, and an English major was all I was ever going to be, but I also love science. And do you have any idea how difficult it is for an English major to find room in his schedule to take some science courses, especially if he wants those courses to count toward his degree? I mean, why do colleges make it so difficult for students who love science but aren't smart enough to be science majors to learn some fucking science? I mean, how many pieces of Elizabethan poetry can one person be expected to read, for Christ's sake? Fuck! Youthful political zeal. Whether it's the Young Republicans or the campus chapter of the Green Party, there are few things more insufferable than a group of self-righteous college political activists. One of the most irritating things about this type of student to me is that for all their enthusiasm for politics, many of them seem to pay very little attention to the content of their actual political science courses. Otherwise, they might realize that the very system they decry and beat their chests against, and not always wrongly, I might add, is the same system they will have to work within if they ever want to see any of their goals come to fruition. Now, that might not be the way things ought to be, but it's the way things are. In politics, an ounce of realism can accomplish more than a ton of idealism, which is something that most college activists find out about 5 minutes before they decide, you know what, politics isn't really for me after all. And then they turn their attentions to more rewarding pursuits like fantasy football. Students who care more about their degree than their education. Not that there isn't anything to be said for idealism. One of the most dismaying things to me when I was a college student was encountering classmates who clearly were just there to be there because college is what comes after high school, or because they wanted a degree to get a high-paying job. And it's not even that those are necessarily bad reasons for going to college, but you might as well make the most of your education while you're going to college. I mean, sure, maybe you are a business major and the only reason you're taking a creative writing course is because you figure it'll be an easy English credit. But why not embrace it while you're taking the course? Shit, I never would have taken a German course if I hadn't had a foreign language requirement to fulfill, but you know what? I threw myself into the class, I tried to give it my all, and I met some really cool people, and I even learned a thing or two. Don't ask me what, I completely forget most of that German shit now, but that's not the point. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.